Former Telecom Minister Dayanidhi Maran, who has issued a legal notice to his own elder brother Kalanithi Maran, accusing him of violating regulations and unlawfully transferring lakhs of shares of the Chennai-based Sun TV group to himself. These are the allegations that are being made. Let's just get you all the details of this case with my colleague Rishab, who has sent us details as to why is it that the brothers are, at war with each other.
All of this dates back to 2003. We're still going through the contents of this letter, very lengthy letter, and from prima facie, no words have been minced. All of this goes back to the fact that in 2003, when their father, late S.N. Maran, was on his deathbed, Dayanidhi is now accusing Kalanithi of getting these shares in Sun TV networks in a very fraudulent manner. What we're also reading up now is that when he was in a comatose state, when their father was in a comatose state, Kalanithi allotted to himself about 60% of shares of Sun TV networks without any consultation or approval from the existing majority or the promoter or the original shareholders within Sun TV network. What this led to was that the genuine promoter shareholding came down from about 50% to 20%. I'm not sure what the trigger is of this letter being sent on June 10th, but this is what we're picking up from this legal notice that was sent. This has been sent to 6 others apart from Kalanithi Maran, and this also calls for an SFI, a serious fraud investigation office probe, apart from other agencies getting involved in this.
Right, thank you so much, Rishab. We also have Veera joining us to get us more on this. Veera, we're talking about shares reportedly worth several thousand crores of rupees, over 5,000, close to about almost 6,000 crores in dividends up to 2023. Additional 455 crores worth of shares in 2024. That's last year itself. But, Dayanidhi, they're saying that the offences that are being committed are continuous in nature, and that is the allegation that he's making against his brother.
Look, there are 2 things here. One, first of all, red herring. There has been no official on-the-record comment from Dayanidhi Maran of having served a legal notice or from Kalanithi Maran of having received that notice. So nothing on record. Their PAs, everyone, no one's taking the call right now. So put that red herring there. As far as the notice is concerned, 2-3 interesting aspects, and let's leave the numbers aside. Break this down to the political family equations there within. The point, Dayanidhi Maran, and we've been listening from the grapevine for a while now, that things were not all well. There was some kind of friction. He's trying to reassert himself with his equations with Kalanithi Maran. Remember, the Sun Network, originally Sumangali publication, started in 1993, was once a propaganda arm of the DMK. Not officially though, but was primarily aimed at spreading the DMK's issues. 2007, there was a split between the Maran and the Karunanidhi family, and according to the legal notice sent by Dayanidhi Maran in 2003, as Rishab pointed out, after their father, Muraswamy Maran, who was a union minister, was in a comatose stage. He died in November 2003. Post that, Kalanithi Maran, who actually turned that Sumangali publications into Sun TV, into a corporate enterprise, took charge of the enterprise. The key thing Dayanidhi Maran is asking in that legal notice is for restoration of the shareholding patterns of 2003, which includes the Karunanidhi family as well. M.K. Dayalu, the wife of the late Chief Minister M. Karunanidhi, was a shareholder at that time. So it will be interesting to see how this plays out. I've spoken to some DMK leaders who say, look, no one in the family will interfere. Stalin will not interfere, because there was a fallout between the Karunanidhi family and the Maran's family in 2007 when Sun TV was moved out of the DMK headquarters and set up an independent entity. And that's when Kalanithi TV was launched as the DMK's propaganda arm. So the family, MK Stalin, whose close relatives with the Marans, will not interfere or is unlikely to interfere, at least publicly, is what DMK leaders say. This will be very closely watched because, remember, it's an extremely influential, powerful family, also a huge corporate entity. So it will be very closely watched how this plays out in the coming days.
Right, Veera, also we're seeing an impact as far as the share pricing are concerned, and we're seeing that the prices of Sun TV have tanked by almost 4%.
Well, look, I am not a share price observer, and I look at the politics of it. Well, yes, being a listed company. As I mentioned, categorically, there is no official confirmation or on-record comment from either Dayanidhi Maran or Kalanithi Maran. So we'll have to stick to what's there in the legal notice and give the backgrounder to this confrontation. How this plays out, we don't know how it will eventually be sorted. But remember, it's a very, very close family. Both the brothers have been extremely close to each other. They both live next to each other at Chennai's Boat Club Road. For years, we've covered them, and Kalanithi Maran was the corporate brain who built the Sun TV network. Dayanidhi Maran, the face politically of the party's central Chennai unit, which was his father's constituency, as the MP there as well. So close bonds there, multiple equations at play. And remember the notice, there are multiple family equations involved as well. So we'll have to wait and see how this plays out.
Right, of course, and break it down for us as far as allegations are concerned that one brother, accusing the other of not really having, those shares in the first place.
Look, the accusation is simple, and I'll just break this down into 4 points for you. Two brothers, the younger one is Dayanidhi Maran, who's the DMK's central MP, central Chennai MP. Kalanithi Maran is the chairman of the Sun TV network. They're both sons of Murasoli Maran, SN Maran, as he says in the legal notice. Murasoli Maran was considered once the conscience. Karunanidhi himself described him as his conscience. Was the party's most influential Delhi leader. In 1993, Sumangali Publications was set up in the DMK with the Karunanidhi family and the Maran family. It later evolved into the Sun TV network. Kalanithi Maran, according to the legal notice, takes charge of the shares of Sun TV network in 2003. That's just after Murasoli Maran, just before Murasoli Maran's demise. Then post that, there was a split between the Karunanidhi family. As I mentioned, M. Karunanidhi's nephew, Murasoli Maran, and his sons, Dayanidhi and Kalanithi Maran. There was a split between the two families, and Sun TV moved out of the DMK network. It was a quite open public rift that played out at that time. Sun TV moved out of the DMK headquarters, Anna Arivalayam in Chennai, and set up its own office. The DMK launched Kalaignar TV. We were told that the shares of the Karunanidhi family were settled, and the Maran family wholly owned.
Veera, just hold on 1 second. We have a clarification coming in from Sun TV. They're saying that all acts have been done in accordance with legal obligations. This is a matter that dates back to 22 years when the company was a closely held private limited company, and reports are incorrect. They're misleading, speculating, and also not supported by the facts or by law. Veera, what do you make of this, clarification that's been put out by the company?
That's a categorical clarification from the Sun TV network, saying that there is all these reports are misleading. There is no confirmation of any, as I mentioned that from the start, there is no confirmation of any notice having been received or having been served. The two brothers have not spoken out publicly on this matter. So Sun TV is sending out a clear message that everything that it has done is in accordance with the law. Obviously, there will be questions that will be raised over the legal notice. We'll have to wait and see how this plays out. So for the moment, we'll have to go with what Sun TV is saying. That's because that's the only on-record comment that we have at the moment.
Right. They've also gone on to say that all acts had been vetted, duly vetted by concerned intermediaries before this public issue. And of course, this is in regard to, the claims that that really is now being clarified by Sun TV is that this is all misleading and none of this is really true. And this is just
the clarification primarily means that Sun TV, as the network and corporate entity, says that 22 years ago, the way the shareholding patterns were changed, the way Kalanithi Maran took control of the organization were completely in accordance with the law and in a transparent manner, which is what Dayanidhi Maran's legal notice, if to be believed, questions.
Right, Veera. We also have Rishab. Veera, just hold that thought. Let's get in Rishab here. Rishab, take us through the clarification that's being put out by Sun TV and what you make of it.
Right, Divya, what we've seen in this clarification is the fact that this is a matter that is dating back about 22 years. This is when Sun TV was a relatively smaller company back in 2003. And what they've very clearly said that is that any facts in that legal notice that has been sent to Kalanithi Maran all of them are incorrect, misleading, speculating, defamatory, and are not supported by facts. They've said that all the stake transfers that took place in 2003 with regards to Kalanithi gaining a bunch of shares and gaining a promoter share of more than 30%, all of them were done in accordance with the law, and also all concerned intermediaries were taken into consideration. So this is a legal battle that we will see being fought, and a very, very clear clarification coming in from Sun TV after their stock price actually slumped today morning after this legal notice came to the fore.
Right, we're seeing that the share pricing has gone down by a 4% margin, and of course this notice really that we're talking about alleges that the brother did not hold any shares as far as Sun TV is concerned up until the middle of September of 2003, and that is what the notice is all about, that the father did not have any intention whatsoever to allot any shares to you during his lifetime, particularly when he was in good health. That is the accusation and the allegation that is being made by Dayanidhi against his own brother. Rishab.
Right, exactly. The very it's almost clear now what sort of this will take a legal route. This entire battle. This has been a very long-standing family dispute between the two. This is the second of the notices that has been actually sent to Kalanithi Maran. The first one was sent back in October 2024. So October 2024 last year, it wasn't actually picked up by the media, but this time around, it has come to the fore. The sort of bitter dispute that is going on between the two brothers.
Divya, look, I think the key question here is there is a categorical clarification, refutation of all the allegations in the legal notice from the Sun TV network in terms of their statement. 2003, they say the way Kalanithi Maran took charge of 60% of the Sun TV ownership was absolutely transparent and legal. So that's the first part of the clarification on record. We don't know how this plays out. As I mentioned, there is no categorical on-record comment from Dayanidhi Maran. Whether it will pursue or whether it will be solved amicably between the brothers is something we don't know. Having come to this stage, one will be looking at it very closely. It will be important. I mean, to assume that there will be a legal battle would be wrong at this stage. One has to wait and see how the reactions play out after this first salvo reportedly by Dayanidhi Maran in terms of the legal notice.